What is going on, New York Giants fans? D. Illa here. So right before I left work, I was checking out waiver reports, just trying to see what teams had picked up who, what players had signed to practice squads. And I noticed the Chicago Bears had picked up Samori Toure from the Green Bay Packers. This was a player that I wanted the New York Giants to make a strong push for, to add to this football team, maybe to this roster, or potentially to the practice squad. When you have a player like him, he's only been in the league for, 2 or 3 years at this point. He's 26 years old. He has been buried under a plethora of talent on that Green Bay Packers team, in that wide receiver core on that team. Guys like Dontavian Wicks, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, even Bo Melton. He struggled to just break his way through that talent. That doesn't mean he couldn't excel with us, even though he couldn't break through that talent. Those are 4 to 5 very strong wide receivers, especially the 4 that I mentioned. Bo Melton could be on his way himself, but it's kind of disappointing that they didn't bring him on. I know a lot of people want this team to bring on a couple cornerbacks, maybe some safety help, considering they only kept 3 safeties. But it's like, man, sometimes you just have to go after talent. And honestly, at the cornerback position right now, I think what you're going to find out there on the waiver wire is very similar to what you just basically cut on this team. So I don't think you're going to find your answer to help this secondary through waivers. I really don't. It's here and there where you find that dime in the rough, that guy that truly makes a difference, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's easier to come across waiver wire picks, just guys that you can find on waivers on the offensive side of the ball that can help your football team. I think it's much easier to do that. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed by this. And people talk about the Darius, possibly trading Darius Slayton at one point. Now I'm completely against this. I've said this in a few videos on my channel. But even if you're entertaining this idea of possibly trading Darius Slayton down the road, why wouldn't you bring in some reinforcements at the wide receiver position, just so you have them? Maybe bring in guys that you could potentially develop that can kind of slide into that Darius Slayton role if he is dealt. Samori Toure would have been the perfect player for that. Now, I'm not saying this guy, it would have been a home run, acquisition if we did bring him in. But I just think that, considering the situation he was in and the players that he was buried on that roster, I really thought he was worth taking a shot on. And I'm not surprised a team within that division poached a player from the Green Bay Packers, from that wide receiver core, in the Chicago Bears. I'm not surprised at all. That's a very smart move on their part, even though that wide receiver core themselves is extremely stacked as it is. But yeah, I just wanted to come out and talk about that. I actually made a video prior to seeing the news that Samori Toure had been signed to the practice squad by the Bears, and I was actually uploading it. And as soon as I saw that, I just hit the delete button on it, and that was the end of that video. So that took care of that. But I just want to tell everybody out there, I appreciate all my new subscribers. I know I picked up like 5 or 6, this week. That's a lot for me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for subscribing. And that's it for the video, you guys. Y'all take care out there. I'll see you in the next one.